Shalom to the 12 tribes. All praise to the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. This is a statue of Theodore Roosevelt that has stood at the Central Park West entrance of the American Museum of Natural History, which depicts Teddy Roosevelt sitting on a horse with so-called black and Native American slaves walking as servants beside him, right? So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and verse 7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth. Yasharallah in Hebrew means Israel, right? In Paleo Hebrew, which means prince of the power, Yahweh, right? The princes are the Israelites. So the Israelites were prophesied in Ecclesiastes 10 to be servants, and the actual people who will be servants in the kingdom were seen upon horses, right? So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 8 through 9. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. First, he held the heel of Esau, right? Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. The heel is the bottom, symbolic and representative of how Jacob or Israel or Israelites is below Esau, below the Edomites, below the Caucasians who came from the Caucasus Mountains in this current kingdom, right? But remember, it says first. Verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth, right? So when the kingdom of heaven comes down to the earth, Jacob, aka Israel, aka the Israelites, will be in power, right? And Esau will hold the heel of Jacob, pursuant to Isaiah 14 and 1 through 3, which says, for Yahweh will have mercy upon Jacob, have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of Yahweh for servants and handmaids. Total reverse, right? The ones who are in power now will be the servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were. Right? A man always reaps what he sows. A nation of people always reap what they sow. Those who took our people captive will become captives. Those who used us as servants and handmaids will be used as servants and handmaids in the kingdom, right? And they shall rule over their oppressors, and we're going to rule over our oppressors. And it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. So according to this prophecy and many other prophecies all throughout the word, the Israelites as a whole are at the bottom in this kingdom, but will soon be at the top in the kingdom of heaven. So now you may not like the fact that there is going to be captives or slaves in the kingdom, but this is actually found all throughout the Bible. So let's look at a couple other times or references in the Bible where it proves this. So this is Numbers chapter 24, starting on verse 16. He had said, which heard the words of the Most High and knew the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty, falling into a trance, but having his eyes open. So he's falling into a trance with his eyes open, right? Seeing a prophecy, seeing something in the future. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, right? So it's saying that a star out of Jacob and a scepter, which represents a rulership or kingship, shall rise out of Israel. Who is this talking about? It's talking about Yahushua prophesying his coming. And shall smite the corners of Moab and destroy the children of Sheth. Verse 18, and Edom shall be a possession, and Seir also shall be a possession for his enemies, and Israel shall do valiantly. Verse 19, out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion, and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. Right, so it says Edom, or the Edomites, shall be a possession, right? And their living place, their dwelling place, which is Seir, shall be a possession for his enemies, right? Meaning that all the places that Edom possesses in that day shall be a possession for his enemies, right? And it says that when Yahushua comes out of Jacob. He shall have dominion, he shall have power, he shall have rulership, just like it says in the Old Testament and the New Testament, and shall destroy everyone who is not down with the program of the Most High, right? So now let's go to Amos chapter 9, starting on verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. So if you read Matthew, the first chapter, it tells you that Yahushua came from the seed of David, right? And close up the branches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. In other words, the tabernacle of David, the house of David, the house of Israel, is going to be raised back up as it was in the days of old, right? Verse 12, that they may possess the remnants of Edom. What is the remnant? It's the remaining, the last little bit, right, of the Edomites, and of all the heathen, right? Not just the Edomites, of all the heathen, which are called by my name, saith Yahweh that doeth this. Verse 13, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes, him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. Right? So when it says the plowman shall overtake the reaper, meaning the ones that are doing all the work, which if you read in Deuteronomy, that's one of the curses, right? That we are going to be doing the work, but we are not going to reap the true benefits of it, right? And it says that the hills shall melt, right? Because it says, it's prophesied all throughout the Bible that Yahushua is going to come with flames of fire, right? And the hills and the mountains shall melt, right? In that day, with that thermonuclear fire and with the fire that he brings, right? So it's verse 14. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel. He's going to bring, when it says he's going to bring again, it means he's going to bring back, right? He's going to remove the captivity of Israel, and they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them. And they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall all make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith Yahweh thy God. Right? So we are going to repossess the earth, go back into rulership as it was in the times of David, as it was in the days of old, and we are going to possess the remnant of Edom and all the heathen, like it says in verse 12, right? So let's just look at a couple more examples here. This is Jeremiah 30:16. Therefore, all they that devour thee shall be devoured. All the people that are killing and oppressing and trotting underfoot the Israelites, the same thing is going to happen to them, right? And all thine adversaries, every one of them shall go into captivity. And all the adversaries that survive, that make it, are going to go into captivity, right? And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. Isn't that a beautiful thing, man? Going back to, like we said in Galatians 6 and 7, you always reap what you sow, right? So this is Deuteronomy 11, starting on 22. Deuteronomy 11 and 22. For if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you, to do them, to love Yahweh your God, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will Yahweh drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourself. So if we will diligently, consistently keep the commands which the Most High commanded us, and choose to walk in his ways and cleave to him. In other words, it's not just I'm gonna follow him for a little while, and then I'm not, and then I'm gonna come back, and then I'm not. Cleave to him, hold tight to his word and to him, right? Then what's gonna happen? He's gonna drive out all the nations from before us, and we will possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves, because right now we have no might in our hands in this kingdom, right? We are going to possess the other nations who have more might and more power than us. Verse 24. Every place whereon the soles of your feet shall tread shall be yours. In other words, we are going to rule the entire earth, right? From the wilderness of Lebanon, from the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be. Even to the uttermost sea, The uttermost parts of the earth will we own, right? 25. There shall no man be able to stand before you, for Yahweh your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that ye shall tread upon. And he hath said unto you. The Most High said this, man. This is a promise. The Most High's word does not return void. If we will follow his commandments diligently, we will possess greater nations than ourselves, and all the places where we set the soles of our feet, anywhere we tread our feet upon will be ours, unto the uttermost seas and the uttermost coasts, right? This is Psalm chapter 2, starting on verse 8. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. This goes perfectly with Deuteronomy 11 and 25, right? Ask of the Most High, and he shall give thee the heathen for an inheritance, man, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. You see a lot of Israelites come into the truth. I've seen Israelites come into the truth, and they get taken away because they get taken out of this truth because they are searching for things in this kingdom, right? They want rulership, they want a house, they want a car, they want weed, they want money. This is tiny. It pales in comparison to the things that the Most High wants to give us, right? He says, don't be asking for a house and for a car and for money. He's saying, ask of me, and I will give you the heathen for an inheritance, and the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. How do you think the so-called white man came into power? Because he had our people in his possession, right? We built up every nation that the white man has ruled and come into power and built not only riches but wealth. That's because of us. We built that up, right? We made that for him. If we have the heathen for our inheritance, how much better do you think we can do than he did, right? And the uttermost parts of the earth for thy possession. See, we can't get caught thinking small. We have to think bigger, man. We're searching for the whole earth, man. We want possession of the whole earth, not just a little tiny part of this wicked kingdom, right? So this is verse 9. Thou shalt break them with a rod of iron. Thou shalt dash them in pieces like a potter's vessel. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. So he's saying, be wise. You want this to come to pass, you got to be wise. How do you be wise? By getting wisdom from the law, statutes, and commandments, and the Bible, and precepts, the whole Bible, right? Following after Yahweh's example, having faith in the Most High. Be wise now, therefore, O ye kings. We are supposed to be the kings of the earth. Be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Right? If you read 1 Corinthians chapter 6, I believe it's like verses 3 through 6, it says that we will judge the earth. The saints will judge the earth, right? In Revelation 7 and 14, it talks about the 144,000 that are going to help Yahushua and the angels to destroy and judge the earth, right? It says, be instructed, ye judges of the earth. Take this instruction right here. Serve Yahweh with fear and rejoice with trembling. You have to serve him with fear. Fear when you don't keep the Sabbath. Fear when you're going against his law, statutes, and commandments, right? And rejoice with trembling. And rejoice, be happy that you actually have the fear of the Most High, because that is what is going to make you to be a king of the earth, right? Verse 12. Kiss the Son, lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. Kiss the Son. Who is this talking about? This is talking about Yahushua. Lest he be angry, and ye perish from the way, when his wrath is kindled but a little. When is his wrath going to be kindled? If you read Isaiah 66, 15 and 16, it says that he's going to come with chariots and fire like a whirlwind, right? And whirlwind and fire and his chariots to render his anger and his rebuke with flames of fire, right? This is talking about Yahushua, man. The Israelites that are Old Testament only do not have a grasp of the Old Testament, because if they did, they would see that all throughout the so-called Old Testament, Yahushua's coming is prophesied, right? So let me go to, this is Obadiah. This will be the last example. I'll go through. There's many other ones, but for time's sake, this is Obadiah chapter 1, the only chapter, starting on verse 17. But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. So deliverance is being saved, right? And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. We are not only going to possess the Edomites, but we're going to possess their possessions, their riches, their wealth. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. So what happens when you light some stubble on fire? You already know what happens, right? It's saying the house of Jacob, the Israelites are going to be that fire, and Esau is going to be stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for Yahweh has spoken it. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain, the Philistines, and they shall possess the field of Ephraim and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead, and the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south. We're gonna possess everywhere, man. Like it said, to the four corners of the earth, to the uttermost sea and island, right? And verse 21, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be Yahweh's, and saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau. Saviors, plural. The main savior is Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, being our Messiah, but it says saviors, because like I said, the 144,000 is going to help the angels in Yahweh Shai to do this. So this is what we should be shooting for. Once again, I'm always saying this as a man, 144,000 is what you should be shooting for. Don't think little, man. Don't give up your rulership on the earth, your possible kingship of the earth, just to get a little bit of property here, a house, car, females, weed, money, whatever the case. This is pale in comparison to what the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai has planned for all of us, right? So all praise to the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.